Good morning, Keller Williams. Welcome to July the 14th. Combination this morning, I'm going to give you the COVID-19 update, and I'm going to give you some numbers for the month of June, and that will be it. So let's start off with the Corona COVID-19 update. It's been 4 days since New Brunswick Public Health has seen a new case of COVID-19 in the province. There's still one active case of respiratory virus in the Fredericton region, also known as Region 3. This person is not in the hospital. It's been more than a week since the Atlantic travel bubble has opened between Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and PEI, and Newfoundland. And if anyone was watching the news last night, there is a worker in the Charlottetown Hospital that's been tested positive for COVID-19, and that person came in contact with over 200 people. So it was announced last night that they're going to do more testing, and if this translates into more COVID, the PEI bubble may be shut down. So that was the update on last night's news at 11:30. So so right now, as I said, we have one active case in New Brunswick. We have a total of 166 cases, 163 recovered. We have 2 deaths and currently no one in the hospital. And we are approximately 46,500 people who have been tested. You can see where the traffic going between interprovincial travel statistics, personal and commercial, and you can see how many people were refused entry, and they're monitoring that very well. Yesterday I got a call from an agent saying that she got a call from someone in Ontario who is coming down here for the weekend to look at houses. And because this agent is very, very smart, asked them if they're already in the province of New Brunswick and if they were self-isolating, and they said, no, we're just coming down for the weekend. Well, the agent in question said, well, no, that doesn't work that way, because if you come in from Ontario, you got to self-isolate for 14 days. And this person proceeded says, well, you're the only one that's saying that because I've already booked viewings with other agents. Just please remember, whatever any other agent does that contemplates a potential disaster in somebody attracting COVID-19 will be disastrous for this industry. So we're doing it right. We said that we wouldn't show the property. I did call all the boards. They did put something on Matrix yesterday because the last thing we need is our industry to be tagged with the contact of COVID-19 because we showed a house and the person did not self-isolate. I also got a call yesterday from an agent looking for updated forms. So I just wanted to point out that that all of the forms, the COVID seller consent form, the listing brokerage consent form, the cooperating showing brokerage consent form, the buyer tenant consent form, the third party consent form, and the operational plan has all been updated. So if you go in there on that slide, you will get a Google Drive with all of them updated. You can print them off so you have a copy. I also got a call yesterday from an agent saying, I got somebody from another office wants to show a house, but they won't sign my COVID forms. Well, they stopped signing our COVID forms almost a month ago. The only time that we're signing COVID forms are our own COVID forms when we're looking after buyers and sellers. Every other agency must have their own COVID operational plan and their own forms in place. So those that are looking for these forms to be translated into French, we have almost all of these forms translated. We've got when we went to the Atlantic bubble and we had to insert that in the operational plan, that's the only thing that has not been translated, but we have a person in Montreal that's doing the translation, and we should have those translated back hopefully by the end of the week. So the folks that are looking for French COVID documentation, they will have them hopefully by the end of the week or the first of next week. So hopefully that answers the questions in regards to where to get the forms and how these forms operate. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that Take Command Tuesday. Starting today and twice a month, Team Josh and Josh Abrams will be doing a live stream to talk about Command and the KW app. This is your opportunity to get an inside look at the industry's most powerful agent tech and what it could do for you in your business. This is not a learning, a training classroom. This is them going through the various steps of the Command technology to give you more of appreciation of how powerful this tool really is. So that's today at 4 o'clock Atlantic, and I ask you to tune in because this would be a worthwhile watch, and I believe it's approximately 1 hour. The other thing that was created is the Command Campaigns credit allocation page. So with this page, this is new to Command, so with this page you can see your budget, you can see the credit applied and spent columns in the payment dashboard for Facebook and Instagram, and it will also show you credits available for ads paid for but not complete. So when you run so many dollars in an ad, Keller Williams gives you, I think, a $25 credit, and it would show right up in your dashboard what credit you have and what you have left to spend. The user can download the report if they need it for their records, and they click on campaigns, then payments, and then Facebook or Instagram for all campaigns. So a very useful tool so you can see what you're spending your money on and what the rate of hits that you're getting on each of the ads that you're running. Last week we talked about the real estate. We talked about Keller Williams New Brunswick, corporate page, and we talked about the REW app. We're currently collecting information on any leads that were sent to the wrong location. In order to correct this problem, we need to have specific examples. If you receive a lead from REW Leads that is not in your area, please email David. The reason why we divided the province up to, I think, 11 different regions was that people that were in that region would get those leads. So, excuse me, there should not ever be a lead for Fredericton that's showing up in Bathurst, St. John, Moncton, or anywhere else. The Fredericton lead should stay in Fredericton, the Bathurst lead should stay in Bathurst. Sometimes when somebody does not specify an area that they're looking in and they just click on the lead itself, it goes into a round robin rotation that may end up being in an area that it's not supposed to be in because they didn't specify the area, nor did they specify the agent. So if you get one of those and it seems to be out of whack, and I know that Fred over in the Miramichi got one, and it went all over the province, and it was actually for a Moncton lead. So if you get one of those, please make sure that we get it to David so that we can deal with Real Estate Webmasters. We paid a tremendous amount of money for this website. We want it working exactly what we paid for. So sometimes it goes without saying that technology is a moving target, and sometimes it doesn't work perfectly, but it works better than what we ever had in the past. So just be mindful of that. So let's get into having a look at this. June's Home Run Associates. Congratulations to all 82 agents hitting the home run in June. That means that 82 agents in June took a listing, wrote a contract, and closed a sale in that 1 month. That's 82 agents. 60% of all of Keller Williams is there. As a matter of fact, Amanda and I had some discussion yesterday. As the pictures are getting so small, you got to almost look to find yourself there. So we're going to find a way maybe to display them a little bit differently next month so that we can make the pictures just a little bit bigger. Is that a good problem to have? It's always a good problem to have. I've looked at Home Run Associates for other brokerages around the country. This is a record. There might be 10, 15, or 20 people on most other Home Run Associates page. We continue to grow month after month after month with this, and it's because of you and the caliber of people that you are that work at Keller Williams, that we call you our partners, that are doing the production that you're doing to make not only us proud, but us proud of you, of what you do for us. So let's have a look at the month of June. Now, I said this the other day that sometimes in late December, Scott and I met, and Scott said the 2020 are going to be the roaring 20s. Well, we've been roaring all right. We've been roaring with a whole lot of different stuff that has been absolutely first time for a lot of us. COVID-19 is first time for all of us. The market that we're experiencing right now is first time for all of us. This market is sizzling hot. As a matter of fact, there's pent-up demand for properties, but there is a level of frustration amongst the realtors who can't get the property at the rate that they need to get it because everything's moving so fast and under contract so fast. This too will settle down, and we just need to be patient as we run through it. As I said the other day, at the end of the day, our fiduciary duty is to our vendor, and our legal objects is to our vendor as well. So I know that we're in a very crazy world, but here's what's crazy about this. When everybody stopped working, or a lot of them stopped working in mid-March, Keller Williams kept forging ahead in regards to running their businesses under these constraints. And I just wanted to point out to you this, is that all of the market centers but two had gains in their market center. For instance, if I look at Moncton closed 50 more units in June this year than they did last year. And they took 25 more listings this year than they did last year. And that amounted to approximately $13.4 million in volume. If I look at Grand Falls closed 57 more units in June this year to date, 57 more units year to date this year than last year, and took 53 more listings this year than last year, and a volume of over $6 million in Grand Falls. The Northern Board took 71 more closings year to date this year than last year, and we're down in listings by 39 listings, but their volume was almost $2 million. If I look at Fredericton to Woodstock, Fredericton, we closed 20 less units this year than we did last year, and we took 33 less listings this year than last year, and we are down just under $1 million for the same period. Now, if I combine them all together, Keller Williams, New Brunswick, is sold 84 more units this year than last year, even though we took 28 less units for the province as we did last year. Our total volume of increase was $9.7 million. If I look at their closed units for the month of June, last year we had 362 closed units for June. This year we had 415, which is an increase of 14.6% for the month and 13.2% for the year. If I look at listings taken, last year we took 286 listings for June. This year we took 356 listings, which is a 24% increase for the month, and we're slightly down by 11% year to date. These are absolutely amazing numbers given the fact that we're in a pandemic since the mid-March year. So these are unbelievable. So sold units, last year 172, this year 212, 23% of month over month, and 12% for the year. Contracts written. Last year we wrote 439 contracts. That's your future business. This year we wrote 532, 21% year to date, and 2% for 22% for the month and 2% year to date. Here's one that we need to talk about. This is your production. This is a number that we paid out to you in commissions for the month of June. As a matter of fact, it's the second highest month since the conception of Keller Williams, New Brunswick. For the month of June last year, we paid out $1.4 million to you, the agents, for production. This year, it's $1,675,332. That's a 17% increase month over month and 11% for the year. This is a story worth telling. This is a story where you can say that you come to Keller Williams and you made more money this year than you did last year in the midst of a pandemic. This is your production, and this is worthwhile telling. And sometimes we tend to say, well, maybe we shouldn't tell the story too much because, you know, we got COVID going on and we don't want to be boasting and bragging. But folks, I can tell you that this is worthwhile talking about, particularly amongst ourselves and amongst your colleagues that you think should be a fit for Keller Williams. If I look at Company Dollar, and Company Dollar is what pays the bills. Last year we took in $212,278, which would have been the third highest for the year. This year we took in $265,069, which is a 24% month over month and a 14% year to date. Now, when you look at that and we look at where we are, we say, okay, if we had 265,000, our bills, how much is our bills? Our bills were around $77,000 or $78,000 for the month. That means that we have profit. 52% of the profit goes to the Scott and I, who took a chance of bringing Keller Williams to New Brunswick. And as a result of that, $96,934 was owner profit. That is a record. That's a record for the month for owner profit since we started Keller Williams. But here's what's also a record. A record of $92,973 was given back to you for helping grow the market center and making it profitable for the month of June. That $92,973 represent 70%, 70.9% increase month over month, and a negative 11 for the year. And I can tell you that a negative amount will probably erase at the end of July, because it looks like we have a huge month of July coming up. It was told some months ago that the spring market was going to get diverted from April, May, and June to probably May, June, July, and August, and I believe that to be the case. We are just in the midst of a spring and summer market combined where it is very robust, and if you got a property that's coming on that's well priced, it's probably going to go for over asking price, and there'll be a multitude of people clamoring to get in. These are the numbers. These are your numbers. This is what you did for yourself and on behalf of Keller Williams. And these are the numbers that you ought to be very, very proud of in the circumstances that we're living through. We pour in all of the education and all of the systems that we can, but at the end of the day, you do the work. As I've always said, it's our job to put the tools in your toolbox, and your job is to execute them. And congratulations on behalf of Scott and I, you've executed the tools very, very well and continue to do that day in and day out. So on behalf of Scott and myself and the rest of the leadership team, I want to thank you for what you do for Keller Williams, what you do for yourself, and keep getting our unfair share of the market. It's still there, it's still upon us, and you deserve it. Go get it, and have a great day, and we'll talk on Friday. Just one side note for the folks that are on from St. John, you got an email from me last night in regards to a board meeting that is being held specifically to talk about VOWs. I would ask if you could reach out to everyone that's not on this call to ensure that they register with the board sometimes between now and Friday so that they have a quorum. This vote is on the VOWs, and it's the application that Keller Williams put in almost a year ago, and it's come to a vote now. It's necessary for us to have this VOW contract signed. It's already signed in Moncton and Fredericton, and if we get the one vote in St. John, then that will suffice for St. John, the Valley, and the Northern Board, and then we'll have everybody up and running on the virtual office website. So again, thank you for your time this morning, and we'll give you an update on Friday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.